For the city. I'll call this meeting to order at 10 o'clock. It is June the 16th, 17th. Right? June 17th, and we do have a quorum. Let's see.
Need a pen.
Present at the appraisal, not the appraisal review board, that's later. The Port Commission meeting is Ms. Sue Traylor, Mr. Jerry Smith, Mr. Jamie O'Neill, and our leader and administrator is Aurelia Munoz. Jody Weaver is here representing the city, and we have Brittany, our accounting person, and we have the harbor master, etc. Jimbo Rudelot. And let's see. Do I call for comments from the floor first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, do we have any comments from the floor of the public? Jim, you got anything? Okay.
Just
All right.
observing this month, and then next month I'll be sworn in.
To be for real. Okay. All right. No comments from the floor. Let's move right along. The first meeting, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the May 20th regular meeting.
Second.
I have a motion from Sue Traylor, a second from Jerry Smith, that the minutes from the May 2025 meeting be approved. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Motion passes. Next item is receive harbor master's inspection maintenance report for May 2025. Any comments, discussion? Jimbo, anything special you need to mention about that?
No, sir.
Okay, we're moving right along. Item number 3, Ms. Brittany, received the financial reports for revenue fund. We start with the tariff report. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Backing up, excuse me. We need a motion to approve the harbor master's inspection and maintenance report for May.
Motion.
All right, Jamie O'Neill has made the motion. Sue Traylor has seconded motion to receive the harbor master's inspection for May. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Nobody's opposed. Motion passes. Now, item number 3. Ms. Brittany, you have the floor.
Nothing new to note on the tariff report. We're all up to date on fertilizer and Helena.
Okay, any comments on the tariff report? We'll catch up with you. Everybody find that tariff reports in here. Any questions? Take a minute to look at it. Helena equalizer. Helena's down 25% from last year.
Yep.
And equalizer's down over 50% from last year.
It's looking like it's kind of an every month thing. I don't know if it's just because of the way the government is going right now. Jimbo, do you have anything to add on? I could be freezing.
Okay, the dock rental issue, let's see here, dock rental report. Any comments from that one?
No comments on this one. I believe one word is stating 3,500, but I believe that's because we are changed the billing from rather than the first of the month to the 30th, we're going to do the 15th to the 5th.
Okay. All right, and that is, what is the monthly amount for?
That's 7,500.
7,500 for Bloodworth? Encore dredging paid. Okay, all right, any comments? Not, we're moving on. The account aging report,
I just checked this morning to see if the open balances have been paid and have pending, and they do not, but we have late payments are applied to these accounts for these open
I was
balances.
gonna ask a question too on that. And I noticed on the one that we got on the computer, it had like names on there. Is that, are on the one that starts at 1963 04 going down, are those the little stall rental for the boats down here or
That's the marina.
the marina? That's what I was wondering. I didn't know for sure, so I just
The
wanted to.
99s are the marina.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So do we have any delinquents there?
Just the ones, the Michael Rab, Ken Crawford and Ken Crawford. And those are the only ones delinquent ones, and we have applied late charges to them, those payments. We'll just keep look out for this payment.
Okay, so we have three,
I'll say where are
right?
those 3 and automatic traps?
If there's, hang on, just, there's,
Mr. Go ahead.
all right, Aurelia says there are two.
Mr. Crawford has 2 stalls. That's why it looks like it's 3.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 people actually.
I got you. I got you.
3 stalls.
I got you.
Okay. All right. Okay, any other comments on that one? Let's see, the next one, go right ahead, Brittany.
Okay, so the Port Commission payment report, the only thing that I want to note on is that you'll see there's a very large payment for the enterprise fleet. That is due to Jimbo getting a new vehicle. So essentially it's a down payment on the lease, which will lessen the.
Okay. Any other things of note?
Take a note.
Okay, thank you so much. Moving along. Okay,
Dues and expenditures report, the goal for May is essentially 67%. You take away the grant contributions part of the budget, you're actually at 73%, so you're doing good.
super. Okay, anybody have any comments on that one? Okay, profit and loss? Anybody have questions there? Nautical landings revenue low.
That's due to this month, I saw that we did a lot of extinguisher maintenance for the fire extinguishers, so that's a lot of the reason why it's a little low.
That's what we added the fire extinguishers to the marine.
Right. So that was something that wasn't there before. Okay. Any other thoughts, comments? All right, we're done with item number 3. Thank you, Brittany.
All right.
Great job. Ms. Jody, city managers report. Wait a minute, do we need to have a motion to accept these or not? We haven't been doing that, have we? Let's move, okay? City managers report. Jody, you're up.
Okay, the personal life spent nautical landings marine breakwater. Apparently the contractor had a medical emergency with key employees, which has affected their scheduling, and they are now scheduled to start the project right after July 4th. Yes, yeah, I talked to them last Thursday, I think it was.
Right.
Okay, the CDBG mitigation coastal resiliency living shoreline project. We now have a new core project manager, and his name is Corey Barron. He's working on the required national marine fisheries service consultation, which is very welcome news. Haven't had any communication for several months here. Early this morning, yesterday, our environmental permitting team responded to several questions that Corey had sent last week. So the review is again progressing. We still haven't received anything from GLO that we can then share with our US representatives to ask them to help prod the Corps and National Marine Fisheries Service. We were told last Friday to expect that this letter will be received this week. So the plan is to use this letter to request a letter of support from Congressman Cloud and Senators Warren and Cruz. So hopefully we will get that letter this week in that. Restore project, which is the cleanup of the old barges in Smith Harbor. We met with representatives of TCQ yesterday, actually. TCQ is working to get clarification from the Corps on exactly what yet needs to be done to satisfy the Corps' requirements to issue a permit. Representative of TCQ is scheduled to meet with our consultant from Griffin tomorrow. Prepare some cross-section details the Corps is requesting. So that's moving along. But it's very at a snail's pace, but it's moving.
Wow.
So
Government at work. Wow, okay, go ahead.
CDBG met round 2 applications for the use of funds for replacement of culverts under rail at Corporation Ditch and the voluntary restoration of refuge shoreline. We were told by GLO about 2 weeks ago that we should receive the other contract. Scott got it, but say they're working on it and it should be much longer. GLO Kepler grant, the Harbor Refuge Shoreline Protection. Mott McDonald's has submitted 30% construction cost estimate of $50.8 million. That's 5.4 million greater than the estimate that was shown in the preliminary engineering report. Much of this increase is due to one, a revision of the estimated quantity of the articulated mat as a result of a close review of proposed restoration drawings that were provided by Urban Engineering. Then 2, the reef breakwater length was doubled and the rock breakwater was lengthened. And then 4th, the cost per ton of rock has increased based upon contractors' estimates. 6.
Wait, hold on. Do you have any additional comments on that? And what are we planning to do? That's like 25% increase or
Well, that
30.
it's right now, I mean, it's going through, I mean, this is what this is. It would go to the next phase. We would get, we'll be applying for Kepler funding for that project. Since it's in the Coastal Resiliency Master Plan, we shouldn't have any match or there may be some match, because they're changing some of the rules all the time, but it shouldn't be substantial. But as soon as I know anything definitive, I'll let you know. But the plan is to apply for this in the next year's, the next round of Kepler.
Okay.
Which I guess is in 2 years.
Okay, good deal. Thank you. So we're not at the point of trying to revise the project.
No, this is the what this was is to get enough information together to get the core permit, to submit for the permit.
Thank you.
Regarding the board's thoughts about possibly funding a project to install riprap along the eastern shoreline of the peninsula of Harbor Refuge, there really has been no movement on this past month. I will touch bases again with Coast and Harbors Engineering to see if they've had any information to share. Last time we spoke to see if I can find high elevations that the Corps has not accepted in recent years, above which the Corps has previously designed jurisdictional. I haven't had much success on that. Honestly, I haven't had much time to do that. But I'll try to do that in like 3 or so and see if we can.
Okay.
Get some more information on that for the next.
Thanks for doing that.
The Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust Grant, Downtown Waterfront Public Access Improvement Project. Matt is on here. He just got back from vacation. He did tell me that he's planning to separate this project into 2 big packages. One, the bulkhead and the dock pier work of Smith Harbor, and then second, the parking lot. As he thinks it's easier to attract qualified bidders. Matt, you want to add anything?
Sorry, I was find the mute button. Not really. That's pretty much it. We're gonna split it up I'm planning to get out of here in a couple weeks to get it out to bid. Maybe sooner. Still playing catch up,
Okay.
being on vacation.
Okay, so, I guess when you send that out to me for review, then I'll make sure and send it to all of y'all for any comments. That would be for the Smith Road, the Smith Harbor, that'd be the bulkhead and the piers and the dock, right?
Correct.
And then with the parking lot, we'll do the concrete sidewalk stuff.
Yes.
Thanks, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's moving along. The TxDOT truck route signs, Wayne reported to me yesterday that he's having trouble finding a vendor from which to purchase the sign poles that are specified by TxDOT, and he hasn't been able to find a contractor that's got time to work on this right now. I did reach out to TxDOT yesterday, for their assistance in locating a vendor. And he did see two vendors. I wasn't personally familiar with either one of them, but I sent those to Wayne to get in contact with and try to get an order together on those. So again, it's moving, but not as quick as we'd like. But again, we don't have all of TxDOT's small signs up yet. 9, the parking area on the SBA Steel property at the Harbor Refuge Boat Ramp. Did hear back from Mr. King, SBA Steel in late May. He asked me to send a proposed written lease agreement document. I've not had time to do that, but I'll work with Anne Marie to get that drafted here in the next week or so. And I imagine we'll make the lease document such that it will renew automatically unless either party terminates or requests a change within, let's say, 90 days of the renewal date. Mr. King told me that there's no guarantee that they will accept what I send them as a proposal. We will present it to their executive group for discussion, and then we'll start, back and forth if they want to change it.
Okay, thanks.
That means we agreed to start at offering $250.
Yeah.
Hey, Jody, can I ask you a question? What is that all pertaining to? So I understand what.
It is what the area that we're using as parking near the boat ramp by the Harbor Refuge. We've realized that area outside the right of way of the road right of way there that we've been using since the early 2000s for parking is not a city property.
Oh,
And
Almost half the surface area.
researched, and we're not able to locate any kind of a lease agreement or anything in writing. I did get a hold of Gary Bros because he was city manager at that time, asking him what he remembered. And he just said, that I guess it had been put in right before he became city manager even. And he said he did get a telephone call one day and they were asking, the owners of the property were asking about it. And he said, well, we can stop using it if you want, we'll just stop using it. And they said, no, it's okay, it's okay. But there was never anything put in writing. And so we did some research, located the property owner. They researched on their end, they couldn't find anything in writing. So we're just trying to get it written legal.
yes,
And,
that's,
to get a long-term lease that we can continue to use that for.
now are we gonna pay them something for that use?
The
Okay,
commission had offered to start
okay.
at $250 a year.
I got you.
And
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. And basically what that was, I think I had done calculations showing that using the 10% rate of return rule, we would be in the neighborhood of like $450 a year. But I gave them that information, but then in the next sentence basically said, because this is being used as a public service, for the public to use it as boat ramp, blah, 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 blah. We're hoping that SBA would consider a reduced rate. And so we're saying, basically have that.
But they could theoretically come and fence that off one day and say, we want our property
Well,
back.
yeah, that unless we did some kind of
Yeah.
long-term lease.
Okay.
You know, and the other thing is, you know, if there's an accident or something happened.
Yes.
Liability, you know, we
Yeah.
just wanna make it legal, if we did.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do.
I didn't really understand what was going on there, but now I do.
Yeah.
Thank
This all started when the dredging folks were using that as a full parking lot.
you.
Okay, all right.
And then the last thing, the TxDOT Maritime Division, back in March, TxDOT had told me that they would reach out to us this summer as they begin working on their 90th legislative session for mission plan. And will work with us to develop a port profile that can be put on their website as well as ours and better understand our needs. I haven't heard anything yet from them, but it's again just early. Don't know, I don't think it's officially summer yet, but if I haven't heard anything from anyone from TxDOT by July 4th, I'll reach out to them on the 7th for an update. And that's all I got.
Thank you very much. Okay. So that takes us to item number 5. For Masters Operations Promotion Development Activity Report. Jimbo, we have this deal here from you.
Yeah, so City Harbor, I don't have anything down, but we have a couple of people, or one guy that's interested in leasing those 2 spots. In City Harbor, that Sunland had, they moved a Ryan over down there yesterday, so they've already finished whatever project they had going on. They're gone from here.
They
They're
were,
paid through the end of the month.
Exactly.
that was the pipeline repair in the ship channel.
Exactly, right. Right. So we're gonna reach out to them and offer that. Those guys. Then the Nautical Landings building, we're fixing to put that thing out to bid here probably next week or so, those 6 big windows. I just talked to Derek this morning, we talked about it a little bit this morning, so. The marina, Horizon Environmental have been there 14 times since the last port commission meeting. You know, we've been watching the water usage real close on that mechanical meter. And we used 693 gallons this past billing cycle, which was May 10th through June 10th. Which was 4280, which that's minimal billing amount, you know, so.
Yeah, okay.
Don't really know what was going on with the other meter. You know, we had 2 of those other meters in there and they were both just off the chart, so.
Yeah.
I don't,
So right now it looks like we got it fixed, maybe.
probably.
Okay.
So then, let's see, of course, we had the pre-construction meeting with Derek on 2nd of May, Derek Construction. I talked to them last week. And they said they would not be here until after the 4th of July due to one of their key employees, the crane operator had some. I don't know, some type of surgery or something.
Yeah,
They put that off.
okay.
Smith Harbor, of course, we talked about the power poles. I don't think we've done anything with that. The permit.
And
Let's
some,
see.
now on those PowerPoint, we need to look at those because we might, some of those we might want to keep so we can provide lighting. You know, for. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
boardwalk.
No, that's true. That's true.
Are those located along the back of that bulkhead?
Yeah.
Right, directly
Behind the
behind,
seawall.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't even think about that, that might
Because
be
if
one of
not,
the
we'll have to
things.
put them back.
Yeah. There's probably a couple of them that won't work because they're too short,
Yeah.
you know, but I think there's 6 of them there?
Yeah, we don't need all of them, but they're.
Yeah. Okay, the Harbor Refuge, we're continuing to, Lester's continuing to bring material in there, so, about all I got.
Yeah, and hopefully, once we get the contract on the CDBG Met, you know, the first thing we'll do is get the agreement executed with Urban for that shoreline restoration project. And You know, maybe at that time we get started.
Well, see, I didn't, yeah, that was another thing. Some of that material that's there, maybe some, be material that we can use on that project. So I hate to start and there's a lot of material there. Whole lot of material down there. And I really, we pushed a bunch of it down.
Most of that's just clay.
Yeah, but I think.
Was that dredge material?
Sir?
Is that dredge material that came?
Oh,
No.
Okay, okay.
Lester's bringing material in there from, I think some came from some of these school projects maybe. They're bringing material from a lot of different projects too.
now some of that may not be clay.
I don't know.
Is there any concrete in that?
No,
There shouldn't be.
no,
And if there are,
we
is, they gotta
fought
take
that battle, early on. Hopefully we got that straightened out by now, but, what we had to. Well, I guess we really won't know until we start pushing this material.
But Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, this project will, at the end, we'll be putting like 12 inches of clay over that shoreline. And hopefully we can get a significant amount of that from what we've been hauling down there.
That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Is that what you're thinking too, Matt?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When we cut that back, then we'll place some new material on top of it.
Yeah.
And I would assume that this material you're talking about will work for it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, a lot of it is gonna just be black gumbo that's coming out from all the street work we're doing over in Allen Heights. I mean, so there should be just a lot of black gumbo and all that stuff.
I would think that would work good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? All right, we're moving on. I believe item number 6 takes us to the tariff report. Everybody should have a copy of it. I've been over this a number of times and I'm just wondering if we are ready to bring this to a vote.
All right, wasn't there something you and I looked at and we said we needed the,
Yes, it was on the charges. Here it talks about, let me see what page it's on.
it wasn't something big, but
Page 9.
Page 9.
Where it's highlighted, within 10 days after the end of the calendar month. I believe that's for land leases, but the marina is charged, their late fees are charged different. It's like after the 10th of that particular month. They receive a 10% late fee.
which,
Item 60. Page 9.
Page 9, item
Page
60.
9.
Yeah. All wharfage and dockage use charges incurred by a shipper in the loading and unloading of commodities at the port. Okay, that's not what's going on at the nautical landings. Are due and payable to the city within 10 days after the end of the calendar month.
I just remember there was, I thought we may need to clean it up, because I mean, I know we had talked, if in fact somebody's having charges incurred during the month, that sometimes it takes them more than just 10 days to figure out what those are and get those to us. But if it's a known amount, like a lease or something, then yes, it's due on the 1st and we pay, and we have late charge on the 10th, but like if it's just monthly dock charges or whatever, that figure out at the end of the month, this is what they are. I don't think those, if I remember my research earlier, a lot of those in other places aren't due to like the.
Well, maybe we should, this is just a thought, Jody, maybe we should clarify that all wharfage and dock usage can be predetermined. Because we're not talking about cargo transfers and tariff related items. I think it's fixed usage of dock space, right?
That's what I was just thinking, that one, we just need to clean up that language a little bit.
Okay. Can you do that?
Yeah.
I noticed another highlighted thing here on page 4. I'll see that. Free time, specified period during which cargo may occupy space on the city property free of wharfage determined or terminal storage immediately prior to loading or subsequent to the discharge of such cargo on or off the vessel. That's free time. A specified period during which cargo can sit on our property free of charges, basically. Free time.
And I don't think we had established any free time.
No, I don't think we've ever used that term.
But I mean, I don't know if we want the definition in there or not, but we haven't
No.
provided any, no.
Yeah, the way we operate now, it probably doesn't mean anything. We're not dealing with that kind of cargo.
So just take it out.
I would just take it out unless somebody sees a reason to leave it. Is that it? Yeah, page 10.
I think, if I remember right, I think this was language that I got from Freya.
Hmm. And this is brand new verbiage, right?
No. I mean, this has been in there.
Oh, it has?
I mean, I haven't changed anything in months.
Okay. There's a typo in that second paragraph highlighted there. Storage, keeping, or use of and reportable quantities of any, I think it's supposed to be any.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Anybody have any thoughts? We okay to leave that there? Fine with it. Page 12, vessel repairs. Vessel repairs will be made to vessels involving welding, burning, or other fire risk activity without the issuing of an appropriate hot work permit issued by a certified marine chemist and advisement to the harbor master. Vessel repairs will be permitted at city open berths under the condition that the vessel will not be operable during any cargo operation can be underway. Well, that, I don't know about that, because Encore is regularly doing welding and stuff like that on that bulkhead at the Harbor Refuge. Are they contacting you, Jimbo? That would be something new. Any thoughts?
Again, you know, all this came from primarily from either Victoria's or Westside Navigation.
Okay. I think it probably makes sense, really. Jimbo, would you mind having a conversation with Encore? And I don't think Helen that does anything like this, but Encore does it every day. Would you check with them and see what their thoughts are on this? If they do this at other places? Yeah. I think we need to address it somehow.
Yeah,
Because they're right next to a bulk crude oil transfer dock. And those crude oil barges come in there and they transfer crude oil right next door.
Yeah, I'll talk to, Lori, I guess, I'll see what her thoughts are.
You know, just see what they're doing, and a reminder that crude oil transfer operations take place there time. And there's probably, I don't know if we have any fuel transfers going on to boats, but we have in the past. I don't know if that's still happening. I haven't seen it in a while.
No, I haven't either.
Okay, we'll take a look at that and we'll put that on our to-do list. We remember to do
And I kind of think too that they would. I think we would need to be probably more concerned with the individuals doing that type of activity versus, I mean, like a big company like them, they know they gotta be safe. They know they gotta, I mean, they're gonna try their best to be safe is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
Some of those other guys down there are individuals, they might do something that's not necessarily safe.
Yes.
So that would be the one that you'd probably really need to.
We
check on.
probably should, Jimbo. I think we should probably remind those shrimp, all the shrimping tenants. Prestige, Curtis Miller, all those shrimp boats. It wouldn't surprise me if they do occasional welding and stuff on those boats. And we need to remind them, you do that here.
And it wouldn't even hurt to put that in writing and have them sign a document saying that you went over those, just the safety aspects of it with them, just to have it.
They work on those shrimp boats right there by the boat ramp.
Yeah,
What is that track? You showed me that picture this morning. Track 2?
Yeah.
yeah, they're transferring a lot of nets, putting their shrimp nets on now, taking off oyster dredges. and all
They
that.
pull those boats up right there, and work on them. Now, I don't know if is that something we don't want that going on anymore, or?
I don't see anything wrong with the transfer of their nets and stuff, but there can be no flammable work done there.
Yeah.
What's the significance of the certified marine chemist? Is that something?
Yeah,
Or,
I don't think we're gonna having any problems with anybody down there other than maybe the shrimpers with that, cause I know. Chipper and them, they're not doing any of that work without a chemist certificate if they need it.
Right.
Because they're not gonna wanna
Okay,
take that liability on if something catches on fire, burns, and then of course the insurance company's not gonna pay for it, so.
yeah.
Without that chemist certificate on it, so.
It could,
Just make sure we're covered on that point. But all the other tenants should know that they can't do any hot work there.
we're not charging for the permit, we just based on notification,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're doing it right.
that's a good point, Jerry.
Yeah, the only other thing, that chemist deal may be more in effect because of barges that have chemicals and stuff in them, not necessarily just fuel.
No, it's any of them.
It's anything, okay, I wasn't for sure on that, but, okay,
Blow something up or.
Yeah.
You're not, insurance company's not gonna pay.
I got you.
That's kind of falls back into all of that.
And that's a good qualification to have in there. Make sure whoever's giving the okay knows what they're doing.
Well, there was not the one chemist around. There was one guy that used to come out of course.
Yeah, right.
Out of that for 10 years.
Yeah.
There was one that used to come out of Corpus, and then there was another guy that used to come up out of Aliceville or somewhere that direction.
Please check with Encore. And make sure they got that covered, and we should probably consider putting something in our leases for those. For all the other people that have vessels there,
Think so.
City Harbor and Harbor Refuge. Okay. So it's at least two to-do list items there for us. And if you'll remind me, ready, I'll draft something and send it to y'all. Anything else? Page 13, licensing and vessel requirements, 15 vessels operating in the basin. Item number 11. If that vessel is under 26 feet and those dredge tenders are under 26 feet, they don't have to have a license to move things in that harbor. That towboat down there does. Jimbo, you have any thoughts there?
I I know Encore, they have licensed guys for their boats. Most of those boats are theirs, they're over 26 feet. I don't,
I see we kind of qualified that all towboats operating in all waterways within the city's jurisdiction must be operated at all times by a U.S. Coast Guard licensed captain with a valid master or mate of towing vessel.
see, we had changed this once because the verbiage that was in it was not, the licensing requirements. And this was something that came off of like either Victoria or like
Yeah.
the west side, and it was a license that wasn't even in effect. So we changed it to the master.
Okay.
Master made towing, so.
Okay. Well, tell you what, run that by Encore too, just to be sure. Those little dredge tenders, they don't meet any of those requirements, but I didn't know if it's worth trying to carve that out. Item 12. Financial reporting, that's to the tariff. Exhibit D, where's Exhibit D?
That's fine.
Exhibit D. Do we have that? I don't see it. Before we vote on it, we need to see it.
And what, let's see, what is this, all his performance? Running with Ross, with whole state. Oh, I guess it's like a template of a report. Kind of.
And I think, yeah, we're getting that. In fact, I just got my second report on the crude oil terminal. We hadn't been getting anything from them. I guess ever.
But I guess this exhibit D is just like a go by template of the country report.
Okay, we need that document included in whatever it is we're gonna vote on. Okay. And that, at the bottom of page 13, talking about fleeting and mooring. Designated fleeting mooring spaces do not in all cases include public access to, that's a typo, the adjacent land. The harbor master must be notified in advance of any vessels intending to fleet or moor within the jurisdiction of the city. Any unauthorized fleeting or mooring shall result in a fine of not less than $500 per day. The city doesn't operate as a fleet service and all risk of abuse rests with the owner operator. No barges containing hazardous materials are to be fleeted and left unattended. Fleeting is available to vessels at a rate of $175 for regulation barges, $250 for oversized barges exceeding 35 by 200, and $250 per day for all other fleeted vessels, equipment, and materials. That would include boats. Okay, any issues with that? Dockage for all self-propelled and non-self-propelled vessels shall be based on the length overall in feet per day, is it? So anything 74 feet or less is 75 a day, 75 feet to 100 feet. 125 over 100 to 200 is $200 a day. And 201 to greater is 250 a day.
I remember when we adopted this for the rate schedule, because this is in our rate schedule. The Port Commission added the caveat that this is good only for leases that are 1 year or more unless otherwise approved by Johnson.
Okay, these charges right now, these charges are intended to be like daily fleeting rates. Right?
These are.
Yeah.
Oh,
Package.
well, okay, no, maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Oh, you're right. This is a day per day.
Yeah.
And someplace else is the,
The term dockage refers to something other, non-self-propelled vessels. With barges, the barges are included above,
yeah, these are daily rates.
yeah. The real intent there is for boats, towboats. Okay,
These fees are mainly charged for like other companies that would come in and want to dock there temporarily, but, or is this for the people that are leasing the facilities?
now, this is any vessel that comes into,
Our public dock that's at Harbor Refuge.
Okay.
yeah, harbor refuge or in the city harbors.
Well, and see, that's the question what we need to discuss is, do we want to establish some public dock space in City Harbor? Because right now, there really isn't any place. I mean, the only available place would be along that dock down from Scully's that's in the channel. But other than that, everything's leased up.
The only other thing that we kind of talked about was, if we wanted some additional place, slips there would be in the creek, right there by, the Federation, the old, Evelyn's building.
Right there where Linsville dumps into the harbor.
Exactly, yeah. See, I think they have, they can tie up all the way on the front of that bulkhead, but in the bottom, that's, and Alex's big deal was he always wanted to keep that available for people to fish, but the problem was, people would come in there and fish and they leave their trash everywhere.
Mhm.
And so, we would, we'd hear the people at the Federation bitching because they were out there having to pick up the trash and.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, but it's.
well, this is,
We don't think that the distance between the bulkhead by Scully's and the bulkhead on the other side is wide enough.
I don't think that's a vessel parking spot.
Okay, I mean, that's, because we don't, right, like I said, right now, all we got is the 2 extra boat slips that theoretically we're not supposed to lease except for a year. So the only place is the public dock at Harbor Refuge.
I don't think we have any, are there any vessels moored there now, Jimbo?
That's, in City Harbor.
They'd be shrimp boats, yeah.
Now, see, that's what I was saying. The Sunland Group, they moved on. They're
Right.
paid for
Yeah,
this.
they're out there by us.
So I think, the Morrises have been talking about trying to maybe lease one of those.
I don't know, I haven't heard from.
I mean, that's what because she was asking me when they were up, and I said, well, they're paid up through the end of this month, but.
Well, I gotta take that back. I did talk to her months ago, right about the time Sunland,
Yeah,
did that lease with us. I said, and I asked her to check back and I did call her about, what were we talking about? Something about the marina deal. Remember, we talked about that and I called her, but I never heard back from her.
yeah, she just waited on, she knew you'd been out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she was waiting.
Well, at this point, the item that we're talking about is what happens when a vessel comes into surface water that the city has jurisdiction over. That's Harbor of Refuge, Smith Harbor, City Harbor. Anytime we get I would say a commercial vessel coming in there, there should be some way of,
Well, there's no place for them to go.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So that's covered.
Basically, that's what we tell them. There's no
Yeah,
place to
it's
go.
no parking places in there.
Now, once we get all these barges moved in Harbor Refuge, we'll have the public dock space back, and so we'll have that available.
Right.
Right now, there really isn't.
But the intent of this item is mainly for commercial vessels like crew boats, towboats that are in there. Anytime one of those vessels comes into the Harbor of Refuge, there's some mechanism for collecting a charge. It's either associated with a long-term lease or a fleeting charge by the day. That's the intent.
Yeah.
So when these guys come in, like those crew boats were, coming into our waters and they're docking just sporadically, or even for a period of time, the city needs to be reimbursed somehow. It's either by a lease or by daily fleeting charge.
Yeah, and I mean, the last ones we've done by lease.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a mechanism to, like, in other words, say a boat comes, just appears, shows up in one of the harbors. And they need to stay there for a day or two. What's our process to go charge them?
We can't, because the only thing, and what happens, they'll go and they'll run in this, one of the leased properties until we realize that they're there. when
I got you.
off. But we can't charge them when they're on somebody else's lease.
I got you. I got you.
Property. And that's why, I don't know if in looking at our leases, like, for example, Prestige, when Prestige comes up, we reserve a few boat slips. Instead of giving them the whole thing, reserve a few that we can retain for this type of thing. Right now,
Yeah.
their lease is the entire.
I got you.
We talked about putting some kind of signage at the entrance to the Harbor Refuge.
Okay. I think we got the phone number.
So we got a sign.
Okay, but the issue there is when towboats and barges come in to load crude oil, they could be anybody. Somebody comes in there, all towing companies from up north come in there. But the intent is that we capture revenue when they enter those waters, towboat and barges. That's the intent for this. We have to have a way of capturing when they come in there.
And we do get, I know we've talked about this in the past, we do get those docking
Right.
prior. And so we're capturing pretty much
Now-
anything that's scheduled, we are capturing.
And
In addition to the signage, we need to make sure that, for one thing, Doug Stevens knows that when those vessels come in there, or whoever's in charge of that terminal, that they're supposed to be reporting to the city.
They are. Equalizer doesn't, Goldmark does.
Well, okay, well, that's good. That's the company that's in charge of all that. Helena is covered by their lease.
Well, they do too, they send it in too.
Okay,
Not that they probably need to, but. since
right.
they-
Well, that's okay if they do. But some of those other towing companies don't have a clue unless they're told, or Doug Stevens or Goldmark. Okay, do we need to talk about this some more? I'm okay with it. Yes.
Can we vote on it before these changes are?
what about the bunker fee? That was.
Bunkers, we need to probably go over this too, but we're missing that document, that exhibit D. We can't really vote on it, or maybe we can vote on it other than that document. But we need to make sure.
Suggest we wait, let him go, double check with us, work a couple things.
Yeah.
We'll bring this back
Okay,
next month.
okay. Yeah, so
Talk about the oyster deal, are we gonna start charging for that or?
well, hang on one second. Bunker fee. You have a question, Jody?
I just remember that was one thing that Encore was very concerned about.
I can fuel?
Yes. This extra $50 per truck fee, they were, when we first brought that up, that was one thing that they were concerned about, that charge.
Okay, like, we don't want to pay it.
I'm sure that's what it was. I just make sure that is what we're wanting to do.
I think the idea was probably to cover any charges or issues that come up if something happens with a spill at the dock. You know, what's the city's responsibility there?
Yeah.
Um. Did they ask them what they do at other docks when they take fuel at other places? And it could be anybody. I've seen down there some of the dredge service towboats. This was a year or two ago. They were taking fuel there. But I'm in favor of leaving it there unless that's just a major issue because something could happen. That's a liability. Oyster, the oyster, Cody, is that,
We were, tossed around the idea of reinstating that.
didn't Curtis have some kind of comment that we could recover some lease fees that way?
Well, I think he was advocating, keeping his lease low, but generating revenue.
Yeah,
I remember just showing west side is 50 cents per sack.
Seadrift is evidently doing it regularly. They collect a tariff down there.
I think it was, when I looked at it, it was what we had before. 50 cents?
I don't remember the number. Well, I'll tell you what, we're not gonna approve this thing today. Let's figure that one out, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, the one I was thinking about before is that last one on page 16. Which was the commercial vessel monthly quotes. Only. Greater.
And that's kind of a problem too. I mean, it was, we did that deal with Sunland. Jody had to go to council and, what do you call it? Variance?
No, they just approved it. I mean, they can approve it.
So I don't know if that's something we want to look at too.
So, and I don't
Instead
know
of doing
whether
an annual lease on any of these.
either that or we establish some, I mean, I can understand that we don't wanna use these rates if it's less than a year. But if somebody, like we had before, they needed it, they only needed it for a couple months, they needed it so bad, they were willing to pay the whole year, but that's.
Yeah.
That makes sense, to have it tied up for a whole year, and nobody's there.
Right.
That, we allow, an escalation of the rates, for less than a year or something. Either that, or we just do what we're doing, if we come up, we just take it to council. They're okay. All right, something to think about.
You're talking about this section 5.
It's a Smith Harbor item 530.
Yeah, yep, okay.
Well, sometimes it's better to have everything in place so we don't have to run, because, there's people that come and want to lease something.
And they're not gonna pay a daily, if they want it for 3 months. Don't go to Flash if they gotta pay a daily. But I can understand, that it wouldn't pay in this monthly rate, only in half 3 months. Not make sense, if, in fact, we had escalated, if they paid more than this. I think double if I remember right, But we did allow them for at least less than a year.
Okay,
They just paid more, but not.
that's the intent of item 530.
Well, item 530 is, these are the rates.
Or all of these?
Years lease. We don't really address
Yeah,
anything less
Okay.
than a year at all. Other than the council can approve something less. So it might be something we wanna put in there. Right, you know, if we do wanna entertain leases of less than a year,
like on the spot leases, 3 months or less,
yeah.
something like that.
I mean, at a certain point, yeah, you know, if you wanna, I don't know, what the break point is for.
Tell you what,
Daily leases, but I know, I know there's been discussion that, well, they pay a daily lease up to a year. 364 days, people are not gonna do that, they will go elsewhere, that's.
Okay. draft something up that hits this issue.
Yeah.
And put it in there.
Can I ask another question on that, Jody? So like when y'all had to do that, do y'all have to get an attorney involved with the, okay, no, nothing, no expenses there, okay.
No, I
As
just,
far as making an agreement with them?
It would just be
it's
good,
our standard lease.
Okay.
it would just be good to have everything. So we're not having to run around here 2 or 3, just trying to get something, you know?
I get
Yeah,
it.
I think
Because
that's a good idea.
they knew they had this job to do. They didn't wanna go to Plashes, cause Plashes was too far to run over, right?
Right, and
So
Jody did a
they
good
just-
job of negotiating that. I know, yeah, we didn't wanna lose that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
It
Not
is good.
spending money here. Yeah, that's
So
great.
draft something up that covers what you did in that situation. And put it in there. Is there anything else we need to discuss on this document? And we'll put it on the agenda that we will consider and take any necessary action on it at the next meeting. Okay,
Okay,
everybody all right with that one? All right, well, let's move on. Item number 7, this came from our last meeting. No, this is a brand new item.
yes, and you have a copy of it in the packet.
Yes,
And basically what happened is Lenzo, I guess, so he had a third boat slip. He has 2 that goes with him to the lease. He had a separate lease for the boat, then he didn't need it anymore. So we don't have that. We're gonna here, I guess, early part of May, he's now got a third boat that's parking there, so I talked to him, he recognizes he'll pay for the month of May. I'm just, since it was so close to having a meeting, I just thought I'd let you guys bless it. Right now, the way I've got it written up is I'm just reflecting that he's paying the rates as are adopted in the city's fee schedule, which is that, what we just talked about, it's
Yeah.
$175 for the first 25 feet and then $5 for each foot after that. That way, if we do change that rate while he's got the lease, he gets the new rate. So I'm basing it on the rate schedule, not
right,
rate, the.
okay, good idea.
So anyway, I mean, again, this is our standard lease, basis what he had before. The only thing is Jimbo, I don't know that we figured out precisely exactly where the slip's gonna be. I know right now he's been parking it next to his 2, but.
They're all 3 spots will be breasted together
Is that?
at this point.
Well, when he had that third slip or third place that was behind, was to the east of his building.
Yeah.
There's that little, there's probably 120 or 30 feet there.
See,
up to that point.
technically on his lease, 2 spots were next to each other, not side to side, but. It's not that.
They were about astern.
Yeah, but it was just 2 spaces, he's just been parking next to each other. And with this third one coming on, I was the question is, are we okay with just letting him continue that way? Or I don't know if he would prefer to move it over to the east. Basically, I just put in here the exact location is approved by Harbor Master, because I didn't know exactly where it's gonna be, and they moved.
Well, they're trying to put the, if you remember, it's been quite a while. We approved, where we actually bought Pollen, remember all that? And he was gonna put them down behind or to the east behind his building.
No.
Never got done, and so we were having a storm, this was last year.
Okay,
Went down there and grabbed the pollen so they wouldn't float off, and put them up on the hill there where,
yeah, okay,
restaurant or whatever it was.
right,
Anyway, here in the last few months, he contacted me back and wanted to put the pollen down. Well, I think he's gotten two of them, two pollen so far, but what he's found out was he's having a problem putting them in because, you know, you can't jet a pollen in clay, right? And that's what, I mean, there's not much there. I mean, he's.
yes, all right, so there's a problem. Ollie, okay,
Exactly. So he's trying to find somebody that can come in there and drive them in.
okay,
That's what I've got.
all right. Do we have any issue with him doing this?
I think so. We basically talked about it.
Yeah, and basically just told him that there's no guarantee that once we get some of our planning and get our funding, all kids and everything, we look to move, some of that may have to become
Right,
moved.
okay,
You know, he's okay with that, because the other thing to think about, we've started talking a little bit, is his lease is up the end of August, right? That's right, August, yeah, that's end of August.
end
And
of
we were
August,
talking about whether, you know, whether it was time to go ahead and move him.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a little premature. I think in my mind, we'll keep him where he's at for now. But once Matt does the bid package.
yeah,
And we're gonna be having an additive alternate to do the rest of that bulkheading. If in fact we've got enough money to do that, that'll be the time to get with him and work it out as far as where he's gonna go while we're doing this and
okay,
move all that and then redo the lease at that time.
okay.
I think we're not quite ready to get to that.
Just so we can get done with this item, can we leave this the way you have it? And let him put them abreast. If you drop piling in there, you can put two end to end and one's on the outside of those.
I think as long as everybody's okay with it, we just leave it to Jen. It's one extra spot.
Yeah, okay,
As long as he's okay with wherever it's at. And if he ends up bringing two boats, well, then we need another one of these.
okay, well, any
But right now, this is for one more.
placement of the vessels needs to be approved by Harbor.
Yeah. And again, I think we need to qualify that we're approving this because it's associated with Poor Boy Bait that's already there and has.
Yeah.
At least everything, because we had
Right.
previously basically made the statement.
Yeah.
We didn't want any new.
I know, and she's gonna want, well, hey,
This is this is
Right.
associated.
You will be there.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Okay,
are we covered?
yes.
Are we ready to vote? I'll entertain a motion.
On this lease with Poor Boy,
Yeah,
Yes.
for extra boats.
so moved.
Okay,
I second it.
okay, Sue Trailer moves and Jerry Smith seconds the motion to add another lease spot to Poor Boy Bait Stand per the draft lease agreement presented here. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. We're done with that one. Next. Next item is the closed session. Unless the members have any reason to go into closed session, I don't know that we have anything to discuss closed session. So we will not take action on item number 8 and 9. No need for a closed session at this time. Let's see. Somewhere in here, the to-do list.
Oh, yeah.
We have the to-do list. If you guys would just take a look at it. And if anything needs to come off of there or be moved down, like we've already addressed it. If you'll just let me know, I'll make those changes. Several of these items have been on here for a while. And I just didn't go through it very thoroughly last time. So if you would, let me know if there's anything that you see when you get home that needs to be changed here. And also, we captured about 3 or 4 items, mainly relative to the tariff deal. If you guys will just give me Aurelia, if you'll give me a heads up on what those were, I'll revise the to-do list. We won't need to take that any further today. I need to make a comment here. At our last meeting, I believe we agreed to discuss our meetings time and take action on it today.
Oh, yeah, I did get.
And I didn't notice that it's missing. We really can't take any action on an item unless it's been placed on this agenda. So let's put that, make sure we get that on the next meeting.
Here, what was the suggestion?
That we think about the meeting time and come to the meeting prepared to vote on what our preference for meeting time was. I think, was that everybody's
I'm
understanding?
just wondering who brought it up or what was the suggested meeting time?
It was remaining on the agenda at the last meeting from the one before, I think. It was kind of been a
There
standing.
was discussions
Been
later
later on.
today.
Yeah, I mean, I did ask, but it doesn't have to be changed just because I asked. I just had asked, is there a way the meetings could be later in the evening? So that, I can just leave work in and come in and go to the meetings. It would just make it easier for me. But there need to be other people it makes it easy for as well. Of course, Mike said he doesn't like evening meetings.
Yeah.
So,
But everyone else, I mean, we changed it at one point and then we
Yeah.
changed it back.
Yeah, we did.
Makes no difference to me.
But-
I'll come at midnight if you want.
Thank you.
it's not a big deal.
It's not to me either. But let's come to the next meeting and put it on the agenda and we'll get it put to bed. Anyone have any comments? I'm gonna go around the room and see. Miss Sue, do you have any thoughts, comments?
I like the way you run a meeting. You do a fine job.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the words because I really don't know what the heck I'm doing up here. I'm feeling my way around. I appreciate the help from the peanut gallery. Thank you.
I think I'm fine. I think we doing good. Everybody's good, so. Great.
All right, Jerry, it's good to have you here.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
I don't really have anything, as probably it's obvious, I'm not real good at this. So you're helping.
Maybe you don't realize, but Jim, you're coming on the.
Next month.
Yeah.
Right. Well, welcome aboard for next month.
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
Jamie's taking a
I
while.
know that Jamie. In the afternoon and.
Yeah.
Jamie prefers afternoon, I know.
It's just, I didn't want it to be changed because of me. I wouldn't,
Okay.
I just thought I would ask the
We're
question.
gonna cover this at the next meeting
Okay.
and we will vote on it. We intended to do it this time, but
Yeah.
Jamie,
No, I have no comment, no.
Aurelia, how about you? You're a member of this group. Okay, thank you for keeping us straight. Jody? You both.
Well, the thing about it is to keep in mind, see, like Jerry's still working, Jamie's still working. Like Jamie has the long distance, he drives there, comes back for the meeting, then drives back.
Right,
Whereas it would be, because I'm sure that in the morning is when you do.
we'll cover it next time.
The things that you've got to get done, both for Jerry and everybody else.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
All right, Jerry Smith made the motion, and Sue Trailer thankfully seconds it. Any discussion on the motion to adjourn? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes at 11:15. Officially adjourned.